history made today as a guilty verdict was handed down this afternoon in the country's first ever human trafficking case. Jimenita Swain was in court as Chavanese Sasha Gay Hall learned her fate.
It took a little more than an hour for jurors to return with that guilty verdict. They were unanimous on the verdict of 4 counts that involved trafficking in persons. However, there was a majority decision on the final 2 counts of unlawfully withholding the identification papers of the 2 victims. It was clear that jurors accepted that Hall deceived the 2 victims by luring them to the Bahamas on the guise of employment, but they instead were forced into prostitution to repay their fare. One victim was seeking employment as a bartender or maid, while the other thought she was applying for a job to be a massage therapist. Both women were brought to Nassau but subsequently taken to Grand Bahama, where those acts of prostitution took place last January. Convict Chavanese Sasha Gay Hall had no visible reaction as the verdicts were read. She sat staring with her hands clasped in her lap. Senior Justice John Isaacs asked Hall if she had anything to say before a sentence was handed down. She replied that she didn't. However, lead defense attorney Jara Mangro requested that a probation report be carried out before she is sentenced. Outside of court, Director of Public Prosecutions Vinette Graham-Allen declined to make comment. However, Mangro disclosed how his client took the news and their next steps.
Of course, she is disappointed, but she accepts the verdict as delivered by the jury, even though she does not agree with it. And that is the basis on which she has instructed us to file an appeal, because in her estimation, the verdict of the jury was not the proper verdict based on the evidence adduced in the trial.
A probation report will be compiled to assist the court in determining the appropriate sentence. Hall will return for sentencing on May 7th at 10 a.m. Until that time, she will remain on remand at Her Majesty's Prison. Jimenita Swain, ZNS Network News.